It's a lot more of a rigorous process nowadays to get building control sign off. It's definitely way harder than it has been in the last 2 years. The process to kind of finalize and get sign off. There's regulation 38, but there's also the compliance certification. So effectively nowadays with the Building Safety Act, you also have to sign a document whereby you as the client, the principal designer and the principal contractor have to sign a compliance document that says we are satisfied with all of the information that's been provided, we are satisfied with the building, as it stands, and basically stamping it for building control office to say that all those three parties have agreed that everything has been installed correctly and designed correctly. But then there's regulation 38, which is about Regulation 38. So building control sign off, just to give you an update if you've been tuning in over the last couple of weeks. Fundamentally, we have an agreement from building control to sign things off. If you tuned in last week, you'd have heard about all of the issues that I'm having with my fire engineer speaking to their fire engineer and going back and forth and back and forth. And it's come to a head now whereby my fire engineer has basically said, no more comments. We've justified this as much as we possibly can. And ultimately, to make a long story short, we've installed a Plumis high pressure auto mist system within the top floor flats because we've got these galleried landings, which you can see on the screen in terms of like travel distances and things like that. We had to install a suppression system. It's a pretty standard off the shelf type system. Plumis is one of the biggest, if not the biggest supplier of that product in the UK. And that's what we've installed. It's been justified. It's been designed and installed by specialists. I feel like I and the other fire engineer are staring at a Van Gogh painting and I'm saying, oh, it's blue and yellow. And he's saying, well, it's aquamarine and taupe. It's that type of thing. They're both looking at the same thing, but they're being really pedantic around like the finer detail around sort of some of the justification. But ultimately, we've agreed that we can get partial sign off of the ground floor and first floor flats. So that's 5 of the first 7 flats and get those signed off, which is great. At least it unlocks selling 2 of our flats, for example. And then the top 2 flats, building control officers just has to go to his director and just have that conversation. But fundamentally, he agrees. And I think they will agree that it's a viable solution that we've installed, even if we haven't done the justification down to the level that they want us to. What I wanted to touch on is the process now to kind of finalize and get sign off. There's regulation 38, which I'll come on to in a minute, but there's also the compliance certification. So effectively nowadays with the Building Safety Act and things like that.
Sorry to interrupt. If you're new here, this video has probably been pulled from one of our live video broadcasts where we show insights into our 6, 7, and 8-figure businesses. We're live every week showing the inner workings of our business, sharing tips, templates, and strategies that you can take away and use in your own business to help you grow and be more profitable. If you've not checked it out yet, head over to the live section on our YouTube channel where you can see all of the back catalog of videos where we cover everything that you need to be a successful entrepreneur and a property developer. Back to the video.
You also have to sign a document whereby you as the client, the principal designer and the principal contractor have to sign a compliance document that says we are satisfied with all of the information that's been provided. We are satisfied with the building, as it stands. We are satisfied with the safety and compliance with everything that we need to comply with, and basically stamping it, rubber stamping it for building control office to say that all those 3 parties have agreed that everything has been installed correctly and designed correctly, etc. But then there's regulation 38, which is about fire safety information. So again, they wouldn't give us the certificate until we have basically had an email from the responsible person that will be managing that building. So in this case, it's St Andrew's Court, and the managing agent on that building will be XP Property because we will be retaining the freehold. XP Property and our estate manager will be overseeing the management of that block. What they require is an email from XP Property, effectively, as the freehold managing agent, to acknowledge that they have received all of the fire safety information regarding the building, that we have acknowledged and accepted the information, and that we have saved it and understood that safety information about the building. So until that email was sent over to building control, they were unwilling to push things forward and sign things off. So it's a lot more of a rigorous process nowadays to get building control sign off. It's definitely way harder than it has been in the last 2 years. This is the new truth. This is the new reality. You've got compliance information from the client, PD, and practical principal contractor. And then you've also got fire safety information that needs to be sent, approved, and understood by the responsible person of that building. If you are coming to the end of a project, make sure you're getting all these things lined up before you complete.
If you got value from this video, make sure you click the subscribe button down below and ring the notification bell because we release 1 video at least every week, so you'll be the first to get notified. See you on the next one.